Hi everybody, Regina from Eat Travel Life, and today we're going to take on doing a craft project. And it's really not a craft project, I guess you call it a sewing project. We're going to work on making envelope pillows. Now, envelope pillows are the simplest type of pillow to make, I'm told, because it has an envelope pocket where you put your pillow in. So let me take you through what you need. I went and bought a yard of material. I bought upholstery material. That's important. If you think about how much you rub on it, you don't want to get material that is going to wear out easy. Upholstery material will last longer. You can usually find it on sale at your fabric stores. Take a deep breath. So let's get started. All right, so let's get started here. So these pillows that I bought are 18 inches, okay? So to determine the amount of material you need, it's usually the size of your pillow times 2. So 18 times 2 is 36. And then you're going to want to add on another 5 inches. So that became 41 inches by 18, because it's a square pillow for me. And you're going to want to make sure you leave yourself a room, an inch to fold over. So that's included in the 18 inches. So I know it seems kind of weird to me as a novice here, because that's going to make it 17. But it's going to fit because the ones I already made, I made them 19 and they're a little big. So I think they'll be nice and snug when we do it the right way this time. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that you cut your material. I used a straight edge-ish to make it somewhat perfect. And what they suggest is that this long end, this long end here, it's a longer piece, that you can serger the end of this. So that takes some time. So we're going to do that. I have a setting, let me show you, on my sewing machine that we're going to use. It's this one here. So it's got the wiggity 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 and the line. I guess that's serger. And I'm going to do that along this whole edge here so that it doesn't fray, because we will sew it later, but we're going to do that first. So I have it set up to go right on the edge, and my fabric goes right on the edge of this thing right here. You can see that. Fabric goes right there so that it'll get the edge of that when it's doing its sewing. And it actually looks like that. So it's getting the edge of it for the most part. It's going to keep it from fraying, so that's important. So we're going to keep doing this. You don't need to watch the whole thing. It's going to take a few minutes. This serger stuff requires you to fill up your spool because it uses so much thread. Alright, so now we have sergered the whole edge on both sides of our pillow, and we are going to iron. Yes, my kids didn't know we had an iron until I got this out. So one of the things that quilters do too is they like to make sure that their fabric is nice and flat, because it makes it easier for sewing corners and things together. And so it doesn't have to be super perfect, but we're going to do the edges. We're going to iron the edges a bit here. And what you want to do is to fold it over an inch and then iron it. And I'm not measuring, I'm not a measurer, I'm eyeballing it. You want to get nice and flat there. This is going to make it easier to sew. Okay, so that edge is now over. And then what you're going to want to do is fold that over in itself so that when we sew it, it'll be nice and flat and perfect. So I am going to sew over or fold this into itself down to the edge of where the inch was and get that nice and flat. All right. Go over it a couple times, get it nice and flat. All right. And then what you'll want to do, you want to do that on both sides of your pillow edge on the short end, not the long end that you sergered. Okay? And then to make sure that that stays when you're sewing it, safety pins. If I scream, it's because I poke myself. But what you're going to want to do is put these every so often to hold this until you actually sew it. And these work so well. People who do a lot of sewing probably already know this. But it's a great way to keep things where you exactly you want it aligned for when you're till you sew. So we're doing this all the way to the end ish. All right, we're back to sewing. We are going to do a line stitch, straight stitch. So I've got it set on one here, and we are going to get started. That we have here, and I'll kind of move this pin. And I want to sew closest to this edge here. So we're going to do that. Let me see if I can do that from here. So we are going to do a reverse, click that and get it started. And then move forward. So we're going to do that down both edges of the pillow. All right, so all the edges have been, the short edges have been sewed. What we're going to do now is take the piece of fabric and note where the middle of it is at from the longest part of it, and note the middle. And then because my pillow that I'm making is 18 inches, what you're going to do is take the size of your pillow, divide it by 2, and then subtract a 1/2 inch. And that is going to give you the measurement of what you want, how long you want this to fold over. So I've got the pretty side on the inside, the print, and I've measured this out that this is 8.5 inches because that's what I need for the 18-inch size pillow. And then you do that again on the other side so you can get ready to take this to the sewing machine. And what you're going to want to do, I'm going to pull this, you can see I've got it marked on both ends. I want 8.5 inches on this seam here. So I want that to equal 8.5 inches. And right now it's 5.5. So we are 3 inches too short. So we're going to just move that and adjust it as needed. And then once we have that, you can pin that down and then take it to the sewing machine and finish off your project. So let's get started. So in truth in sewing, I am showing you, I've got this up, I'm giving it about a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to make 2 passes, one on the out, one here and then one closer to the edge so that it's double reinforced to make it easier. And I am doing a single stitch. And you'll want to back it up, and then you're going to want to move forwards to secure that end. So let's get started. All right, we are on the last final step for our pillow envelope. It is all sewed and beautiful now. It is time to turn it inside out. And so what you're going to want to do is take the corner here, and I got my hand in here, and just shove it through and work on that corner to make it as pony as possible. And let me show you. Repeat the step on all the corners. Shake it out over here. It ends up looking like this. And you can see the envelope part here. Alright. And then we get to take your pillow, because you've already bought it. And we're going to treat it like Taco Tuesday. And twist it like that. And then shove it into the pillowcase. And just let it fill that pillowcase really well. See, we're looking pretty good so far. Looking pretty good. And then shove the rest of it in. Kind of like a girdle. Okay, so it's in. Not so pretty right now. But if you just tuck that in, beautiful. You have a nice pillow. See, I got the fabric. I got a yard. And it was normally $9.99. I got it for $6.99. The pillows were normally $20. They were on sale. I got those for $11.99 each. And 1 yard of fabric for an 18-inch pillow makes 2 pillows. So for less than $20 a pillow, I was able to make 2 pillows. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a great day.